go ahead. Just waiting for it to... Hi, I'm Mac McCarthy, and I help people with their breakups. And today we have the Breakup podcast number 15. 15, I don't know if it's a lucky number, a bad number, or a good number, but it's 15. Breakup stories unpacked. One of the stories is going to be involving an affair. Oh, Lou Boo, right on deck. Hey, I did your story yesterday. If you'd like to ask any questions about that or comment on it, go ahead and throw it in the live stream. I do have 3 more stories today to unravel and get into. One of them is going to be about an affair, like I said, which is one of those things. I was just talking to a friend yesterday. It's a lot more common than people think. People are sneaky when they want to be. Lou Boo 1K. How'd you come up with that name? Jamie G, how you doing? Welcome. Just getting warmed up here. Gonna start off, like I said, with the stories. I just gotta pull them up on my... Got them here now. So yeah, we're gonna get into this really quick. So if you... Forgot the commercial today. If you have a breakup story you want to share, go to writemac.com, W-R-I-T-E. Send your story in, and I could give my take in a YouTube video just like this. From a game from Dynasty Warriors. I'm not familiar with Dynasty Warriors. You know that, Aleph?
Yes.
Dynasty, is that a good game?
Well, actually, it's my kind of my style, hack and slash game.
It's a hack and slash game. Very interesting. Okay, so if you want to go to writemac.com, send your story, and you could get it spoken about. What's up, Philip? In a live stream just like this, public response. If you want a private video response where I give you my take, and only my take is only for you, not for anyone else's eyes or opinion, that is a paid service on my coaching site. And if you want to do a private one-on-one Skype or FaceTime session, that's also available. And you can go to writemac.com for that too. So, and the live one-on-one sessions, if you don't find them useful or helpful moving forward, I will give you a refund. I've never had to do that before. I do always offer it. And if you do a live coaching session with myself, the last question is, was that useful or helpful for you? Okay, so Philip's got an interesting thing going on right now. The ex came back, and now the ex's son wants to get dinner and talk about things, I suppose. All right, let me get into the stories right now. We have 4 on deck. Thanks for the likes, folks. We'll get more coming through, I believe. It's a little later than I usually start, but stuff happens, right? So let me get in with the first story here. Hi, Coach Mac. Love your advice on breakups. Need some now. I broke up with my girlfriend of 12 years. Wow, you were 12 years girlfriend. You didn't go to the next level and get married. Okay. 12 years, about 1.5 months ago. We've been in contact throughout the breakup. We talk every day. We get dinner about every weekend. Okay, so it sounds like you didn't go full breakup. It seems like you're still half in, half out. You know, you don't really start mourning an individual breakup until you really stop talking. The reason I broke up with her was I just completely tired of hearing about her constant frustration with her job and her friends. That's something that a lot of people let go for a long time, but it can absolutely affect the relationship. It can affect the mood, and it can get old. She's always been a bit negative, but the last 2 years she gets the gold star for whining Olympics. Interesting way to put it. As for me, I've never been happier with my job or my friends' lives, so I just couldn't take it anymore. So this is really interesting. Probably if you had the same misery at your job and the misery with your friends, you'd probably, misery law company, they say, you'd have a lot in common. But this can affect relationships. I repeatedly told her that her job was her problem and she needed to quit. And probably the fact that you told her that made her want to stay even more, because adults don't like to be told what to do. And if she's a stubborn individual, she's not going to do it because you said it. She agreed but kept working there for years. Now that we have broke up, she finally quit and is now unemployed, which is a tough time to be unemployed, I would say, in the world. but seems optimistic that a family member has a job waiting for her at a big tech company where she can work from home. This has always been what she wanted, and she also started doing Zumba and Tai Chi at home. That's an interesting combo. I've always heard really good things about Tai Chi. Zumba, something my mother does in her 60s. That's a kind of a dance of some sort, I guess. But you know what? Any activity is good activity, I suppose. That's exercise and good intentions. Like I said, Tai Chi would be a good thing. I'm not sure if she'll stick with it. Translations, you don't think she'll stick with it because you know her better than I do. But she's definitely made major progress, and I've noticed. We slept together last week, and it was good. She then asked, are we back together? I said no. See, this is the problem. When you're broken up and you hook up, and then someone goes, okay, are we back together or not together? It took a lot to break up, so it's probably not that easy just to get back together. But people interpret those kind of events in different ways, and you got to get clear on what's okay with them and what's okay with you. She then didn't talk to me for a couple days, but finally texted me that she understands where I'm coming from. But even though we aren't together, she'd like to be notified if I start dating someone else. Well, that's a fair question, I suppose. I said I wasn't even thinking of dating another at this point. That put her at ease, I suppose. She then asked, what's our chances of getting back together? I went blank for a moment as I really don't feel like that will ever happen. See, that's a clarity moment. You get asked a question like that, you get put on the spot, you guys have hooked up, you've been in contact with each other, and then some question comes up like that, you go blank. The reality is you don't want to tell her the real answer, and you just told me, and this is why it's really important to write out your story, because you just wrote, I don't feel like it'll ever happen. So if you care about this individual, you're going to have to let her go. It took a lot of emotions and willpower to break up, and now we can't just get back together. I would agree with that. You gotta see a breakup through, because you broke up for a reason. You got to give a breakup a chance to see where it leads, and then maybe in 6 months or 8 or 9 months or a year, because the problems that you had with this woman, as far as her being extremely negative and whiny, that doesn't go away in a month and a half of Tai Chi and Zumba and quitting her job. In fact, the problem is she still hasn't gotten a new job, so that's yet to be seen if she likes that job, because someone can have a new job, a better job, they can exercise, but still be whiny, complaining, because that's just their character. That's how they communicate and get attention. So going back, it took a lot of emotions and willpower. So when he said she got upset and told me that she's done, this was a few days ago. So now I'm wondering, did I do the right thing? I miss her more than ever and feel like she's now broke up with me. It just hurts. So the tables have turned, because you've been seeing each other and you never really officially felt deep down that you were done. But in your head, it sounds like you want to not be with her, but you're weaning yourself off the relationship in ways that you don't even know you're doing it. And she's saying, I'm not going to accept that. And she's done now. He said, it just hurts. I'm second guessing everything. What's your take? It's completely natural to second guess any breakup. Everyone does it because you have no one to replace what you had, the attention you had. And I think that right now, you should stick with the breakup. I don't think she's going to quit being whiny or frustrated with things. Like I said, you don't just, that's a character thing. That's a way you look at the world. Glass half empty, glass half full. Is the world a friendly place or a bad place? People have these lenses, these filters on everything they are. And you're saying that you've known her for 12 years, and the last couple of years it's just got progressively worse. I would say that it's, a big part of it's probably her job, but it's not all that. And if her personality is a problem for you, it's been a problem. You know, like I said, even if she does this for a week, 2 weeks, 12 years is a long time to bail on a relationship. And you need to give being single a chance. So I would go all in. I would accept the I'm done from her as you're done also for now. And if it was going to come back, it's not going to come back anytime soon in any good way, because you don't have confidence right now that it could come back right away. That's why you broke up with her in the first place. Correct me if I'm wrong, because like I said, you know better than I do about your relationship. Right, Aleph? Did you get all that?
Yep. I know how to be being around with negative girl before.
You've had a negative girl before?
Yeah.
And how was it?
Of course, it feel bad.
It made you feel bad.
Yeah, it's like she pushed me down. Like
Oh, she was negative directly to you.
yeah, like when I got a problem, her word doesn't help me out.
Her words didn't help you out. It made it worse.
Yes.
I always tell people that an interesting thing that I got to do in my own life too is when you interact with people that are friends, family members, or girlfriends, or someone you're dating, or partners, like when you interact with them for a while, like you hang out or you talk on the phone or whatever, and then you get off the phone or you stop hanging out, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel? It's kind of an interesting question to ask, because there are people you hang out with and afterwards you're like, God, that was like a drain. Like I feel like it feels like you have their bad mood now. Have you ever had that happen?
Yeah.
Where you hung out with someone and you're like, I was in a good mood. I've had that happen with like an ex-girlfriend before. I was like, God, I woke up in a great mood. I'm listening to music in the car. Everything's going great. I'm singing along. I'm happy. And then they're in a bad mood and they just rope you down into the snake pit. Yeah. And you're like, fuck. This is why I don't want to hang out with you. Right? Lubu 1K, but thank you, coach, for making me realize when you said if she's not talking me means she has feelings. I knew she was accusing me as a victim. I just let it go because she has issues. Well, don't let it go for any longer because it's not going to help you out. Elena P. Hello, Coach Mac. Hello, Elena P. I believe this is Miami's finest, correct? Okay, so we got our next story, the second one, lined up here. Mac, it's been a while. I came to you with my story over 2 years ago. I'm surprised you don't have more subscribers. I'm back. Well, I'm sometimes surprised too, but I also don't put a lot of time and energy into the marketing, but it's growing. It's good. It's better than ever. I was dating a woman for over 6 months. Things seemed really good. We had deep attraction, good connection, and trust was building and never really in question. Wow, those all sound very good. And if you listen to me, you know that I say attraction, connection, and trust are the 3 pillars. Then recently out of nowhere, she told me she likes me, but believes I'm more serious of things than she is at this point. She doesn't want a serious relationship. 6 months in, this isn't a problem. This is actually her being honest communication. She said, I'm 28 years old and I have only one serious boyfriend. I want to be single and still see you. I don't think that's a bad thing. What do you think, Aleph?
I'm just surprised. What? Like, oh, what?
They've been seeing each other for 6 months, and she said the cool thing about this is a lot of women or men would feel this way but not say anything. Oh, I don't know if I should tell them. Like this seems like this is honest communication that she's basically saying like, look, I know I don't want a boyfriend right now, and I know this is kind of where you're going.
Sweet company.
I know this is where this is going, but yeah, I'm not going to be serious with you, and I think that that's important. This doesn't really feel like me getting dumped, more like friends with benefits. I wouldn't even say it's necessarily friends with benefits. She's kind of like pump the brakes. Just want to let you know, we're 6 months in. I like you, which means I don't love you. I'm interested in you. You said that the connection's good, the attraction's good. This is her in a way also like, hey, I just want to kind of take control of the situation a little bit and let you know that it's not going to go any place you want it to go right away. I'm telling you where I see it going. And you have a choice. Accept it, not accept it. Be cool about it or not be cool about it. But you have choices here. A lot of guys would be like, oh, that's great. I can still date. I can still go out with other women and have a relationship with you. I think that's outstanding. I just keep getting these texts. I'm sorry. I've never had a woman suggest this, but I think I could be on board. I would say that you got to embrace this as a good thing and as something that you're open to also. If you kind of think of it like, oh, this isn't fair. I'm going to be wondering if she's going to be with other people. I really want her as a wife. Then don't do it. Okay, but I'm going to date other women. But I've never had a woman suggest this, but I think I could be on board. I said, okay, but I'm going to date other women too. She said, that's fine. Just don't share details with me. So she's saying that she doesn't want to know who you're with and she doesn't want to tell you who she's with. She's basically giving you the rules that she has for herself also. Like, I'm going to see other people but not tell you. And she went on to explain that maybe over time we can still grow into something long term. So again, she's setting the rules, Aleph, right? She's going, this is how it's going to be. I'm not suggesting, but I don't want you as my boyfriend. I do like you. I could like you more in the future. If you see other people, don't do this. It's like, so you have to ask yourself, are you just going to agree with everything? Because you're setting the bar for her to run the show. Excuse me. And she went on to explain that maybe over time we can still grow into something long term. But as of right now, she doesn't want the responsibility of having a boyfriend. So that's an interesting word. Not everyone would say there's a responsibility. So probably in her past relationship, the one serious boyfriend she had, she took that as a serious responsibility and a burden rather than a fun, loving relationship. So there's something there in her past relationship that makes her not want to be tied down again. If she wanted to talk about that, you might get a little more clarity on that. But I would have to bet, and I would bet a lot of money that that's what's affecting her from wanting to get serious with you. Again, this is a good thing that 6 months in, she's being honest and upfront with you. You can't think of it as like, oh, I can't believe she did that to me. No, this is good communication. Is this, I don't know if it's normal, but like I said, it is a good thing. It is a good thing because she's telling you the truth 6 months in. She's not playing games with you. That being said, like I said, she is kind of running the show, and you have to decide if that's okay with you or not. With all people you help, am I setting myself up for disaster? What's your take? I don't think this is a disaster at all. It's a choice. So you decide what you want to do, and you can go from there. This doesn't have anything to do with a wrong thing or a right thing. You need to make a choice here. If you're okay with friends with benefits, seeing each other and seeing different people, then go for it. If you're not okay with it, be honest with yourself. Don't do it just to appease her because you're going to end up hurting yourself later on. This is, like I said, it's a choice. I'm going to bed, buddy. Wedding tore me up. I will set up a session this week. Sounds great, dude. Backup mode is probably. I'll set up a private coaching session one day at either this month or next month. No problem, Lubu. I'm here for you, bud. Exactly. It certainly seems like a backup shop. She has someone she's playing games. Put them in the freezer for heating it if you don't have a real dinner. I don't think that we can assume all of those things. Bottom line is she told him what she told him. She's not that serious about him. And if he wants to continue to see her, there's guys out there be like, oh, yeah, this is fine. I'm not that serious either. I've been at times in my life where I've been dating where I've been like, I don't want to be serious either. You took the words right out of my mouth. Great. Then we can continue to see each other and not put feelings in the way because maybe you're going to meet someone else. But the fact that the way he said, well, I'm going to date other people too. It's kind of like, were you really excited about that? Or were you just trying really hard to be excited about it? Sammy Elliott. Nice background, bud. Oh, thanks. We'll have to work on the background, I think, eventually. I was just saying earlier today, my mother, who watches the stream sometimes, was just saying, you really need to work on your background here. He shouldn't. If he wasn't that invested, he wouldn't text or email you. Good point, Azam. Good point. My approach, though, is to not tell you exactly what to do. Is more or less let you know your choices, and then you need to make that choice. Because being told exactly what to do, people a lot of times will push that away. Okay, let's go to the next one. Coach, I've been in a loving marriage for 8 years now. I'm 35 and he's 38. We are good together and we truly love each other. Everyone that sees us together raves about how good we are. Okay. We have no kid. Where are we headed with this? Because it's going to be something bad, right? We have no kids, no assets, but that we share. I don't know why you just closed that, but okay, that would mean that it's maybe easier to break up. I've just started to have an affair with our neighbor. It's just kind of happened. My husband recently had an injury that the recovery has been over 6 months, and the pain pill he takes has killed his sex drive. All right. I understand, but I do have human needs, right? Sure. You do also have a vow if you're married. So, again, this is a choice. This isn't something that someone made you do. My neighbor is a single man, and he seems to be able to keep a secret well. My husband has never liked him, but they are friendly with each other. Isn't that funny that your husband doesn't like the guy? The fact that it's a neighbor, the fact that it's a neighbor and it's so close to you, the secret's probably going to get out eventually. I mean, people that are married for 8 years, they get to know each other pretty well, and they sense things. And I talk to a lot of people that have been in affairs or have cheated, and I go, look, it's gonna happen where they're gonna find out because you're married. The people that you're married to, they know you. They generally know you really well, and if they don't find out, they probably are ignoring the signs that they've noticed. But they've noticed some things that subconsciously you think you're being slick. Women tend to be more slick and crafty when they're cheating. They keep secrets better. That's just my take. You think that's true?
Yeah.
Aleph? They're better at keeping a poker face, I think about it. And this is the other part. I believe that men, not all, have such an ego, not all, but most, that they just believe like my wife would never cheat. Like they believe more in the sanctity of it. They believe more that this is, somehow my property. But the reality is they do it just as much as men. And I just don't think men find out as easily. That being said, if it's your neighbor, there's probably a good chance that at some point if you keep this going, and it's going to be bad because he already doesn't like the guy. If my husband found out, he'd have a fit, maybe even divorce me. Of course, if he's got any balls and dignity and pride, yeah. What else is the other answer for him to go, oh, have the neighbor over and I can watch? What else are you going to do, right? Honestly, I've never had an affair, but there is something exciting about it. But then the flip side is guilt-ridden and in fear that the cat will come out of the bag. So this is really interesting because I think people that have never had an affair, that they don't understand that. I think that if you're in a marriage that's been stale or unexciting, and here's the thing, it's good until it's not. And then people start looking for other options. And she's certainly not going to say, oh, too bad about your injury and the pain pills. She'll just start scavenging around here. But affairs are exciting. And what's interesting about them is that it's specialized. So think about this for a minute. When you're in a relationship, if someone's in a relationship, a deep relationship, husband and wife, they got different things that they're there for each other. Like right now, she's currently probably taking care of him through his injury, making him food, doing extra things for him. There's nothing sexual about that, right? She's probably, does some chores, does different. There's so many different things that involve that relationship that have sex. It's sleeping together. So like every time that person meets with you, that's all you're doing. So that's what your relationship's about. And if your relationship has put that to the side in your marriage, then the affair, you're like, all right, I get exactly what I want. And then I can just keep this loving relationship with my husband. But the problem is the guilt. If you have any kind of morals or values in lying to someone, I'm not sure how to end something I really enjoy with such easy access. So it says that you don't want to end it. I'd like to talk to my husband, but I think with his injury, he's not in the right headspace to receive such news. I don't think he'll ever be receptive to this. That being said, he is going to find out eventually, unless he's completely out to lunch because of the medication. What's your take? I don't want to divorce him. If you don't want to divorce him, ask yourself how you'd want to be treated in this situation. I'd also consider the fact that how long is he going to have this injury or these side effects? Because the whole reason that this affair started was because you were neglected, I believe, by the fact that he had no interest in sleeping with you. So I think when he fully recovers, he should be fine, I hope. What's the time frame on that? What do you think I should do? Do the right thing, which is easier said than done, I suppose. Okay, so those are the 3 stories we had on deck. Elena says, EO, the vow matters, coach. Cheating, incoming, rejection breeds obsession. Hey, a little bit off topic, but wanted to say keep doing the vlogs in Thailand. So refreshing from other coaches. Okay. Why is that refreshing from other coaches? I was curious about that because it kind of gets off topic on the channel. That Vow Matters coach, she basically ruined the marriage. It's done. The fact she entertained the idea means it's over. She doesn't love him. Okay, we're getting a little deeper here. She is willing to ruin her relationship with him means he ain't her first priority. Yeah, it's done. Just be honest, get a divorce, but she won't. Brent, she wants her cake and eat it too. Don't we all? So the reality of the situation is, like I said, at some point, this is the amazing thing. It happens. I've had clients before that are having affairs, and they usually talk to me more than one coaching session, and they always have a reason. They always have like a special set of circumstances that is a story or narrative that helps them be okay with it, but their wife or husband would never understand. But they have their reasons that they feel good about or can live with. And then, like I tell people, I'm like, if you live together and you're married, they're going to find out. There's one client I had, he was like, she'll never find out. She trusts me, which is kind of a sick, twisted way to put it. Because eventually, he's like, oh, shit, she saw the plane ticket, da-da-da-da-da. And the problem is once you start layering on lies, it doesn't stop. It just keeps going and going. But it never fails. Whether it's a year, 6 months, year and a half, 2 years, with marriage, with living together, they will find out. They will not be happy. There will be consequences to pay. I have seen certain situations where they reconcile and they create an arrangement, especially when there's kids and assets involved, where they say, like, we're going to stay together because of the kids, or we're going to stay together because of the marriage. She loves the security he provides her. She wants his resources. He's a beta male provider. It's called an excuse. Rationalize it. All right, folks, does anyone have any individual questions? We got 7 on deck, 0 likes. Thanks for that. I really appreciate it. Might as well say a not like if you don't like the channel. The stream's current bit rate is lower than recommended bit rate. I don't know what that means. Is there serious buffering today going on in the stream? I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything from anyone.
It's a bit lacking. The
What's different today?
I don't know. Maybe it depends on the internet things. Cause have you closed the Wi-Fi? I mean, turned off Wi-Fi last night?
No.
Oh shit, that's why.
Oh, you think that it's hot? It's running hot?
Yeah, it's probably like if it's too hot too much, it's like
slows down the internet.
Yeah.
He said, "Yep, your video isn't fluid." This is frustrating. It was working so good the last few times, huh? It affects the live stream. I get it.
Cause I haven't changed the bit rate, so bit rate is still be the same, but picture is changing, so it's my problem with that. But Wi-Fi is gonna be the cause of that.
Yep, it's buffering. The frame bit is slow. Shit.
Because I think it's maybe my internet, because I turned off my internet and use my own 4Gs.
Is Danny using the internet here too?
Guess so.
I don't know.
Would like him to stop?
We'll try it. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I use the one on my phone. Hold on one sec. I got 5G, Azam. Plus, I'd start a new stream, collect the gang again. Collect the gang again. Who's the gang? Your frame is a bit slow.
I told him.
Yeah. Yeah, the 5G's a hoax. Sammy Elliott. Have you been on the usuals? I got you, buddy. The usual suspects. Sammy Elliott, have you been on before? Isn't Sam Elliott a really famous actor that's been in like cowboy movies and things like that, like Tombstone? Am I correct? I think what I will do, though, is I will come back, see what's going on with this, because this is going to be annoying. This is still up. Says the stream's current bit rate's down. What the hell's going on here, Aleph? A real situation here.
About Wi-Fi signal.
It's the Wi-Fi signal, you think?
Yes.
What a bunch of crap.
Because usually when you open that, you also use your phone. Then he can use his phone too at that time. But it's not buffering like this. So yeah, maybe too long. You need to get some rest about 15 minutes.
All right, I'll be coming back on in 30 minutes. If everyone wants to join. I know it's late for a lot of people, except for Azam because he's in a different part of the world. But if everyone wants to get back on deck, maybe I'll come back in 30 minutes. I will definitely be on tomorrow morning, same time, 10:30. Might even do a live stream later on tonight. But we'll come back on. We'll see if we